Welcome to the topic, Factors Affecting Assisted Living Costs. Now, before we get started, I want to personally invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I really appreciate it when you do. I just want to ask you to help me grow my channel by clicking the subscribe button, and be sure and click the bell icon too, so you'll be notified every time I come out with a new video. Because if you like this content, and I'm sure you will, I'm going to give you a lot more like it, and even better. Now let's dig in. Is it time for you or an elderly family member that you care about to move into assisted living? It may be appropriate to relocate for a variety of reasons, including the need for medical care or the simple objective of having more time to enjoy retirement. You may be prepared to make the change, but before you do so, you should check to see whether you have the financial means to move into the kind of assisted living facility that suits your preferences. In addition to the standard monthly rent, there are a number of other costs associated with assisted living communities that should be taken into consideration when determining how much you will have to spend. In order to make an informed decision about your future, it is essential to have a thorough understanding of the costs associated with assisted living. So be sure and listen to this information that I'm going to provide today about the primary aspects that go into the cost of assisted living, and to find out how assessing those costs, how assessing those various cost factors might aid you in selecting the appropriate choice for your situation. Rent. The rent is the first and most significant expenditure connected with paying for assisted living for yourself or a loved one. It might be difficult to shift from living in a house that has been paid off to living in a neighborhood where you must pay rent. However, when you discover the ideal neighborhood, the sacrifice is worth the convenience of living in a location you like. Begin by evaluating the monthly base rent. Unlike living in a traditional apartment or rental property, rent in an assisted living complex usually includes utilities. The monthly rent frequently includes additional utility expenditures such as electricity, water, heating, and/or air conditioning. Residents may, however, heating and air conditioning. Residents may, however, be required to pay for amenities such as cable television or telephone connections. In addition, some communities provide furnished rooms for a modest cost added to the monthly rent. Consider the additional expense of a furnished room. In addition to monthly rent payments, you should inquire about any upfront costs required by the communities you're considering. These may include move-in and registration costs as well as a deposit. Some communities keep the initial expenses low, but these expenditures must be considered while paying for assisted living. Moving charges. As with every relocation, you may need to make a minor expenditure to transport furniture and possessions from one location to another. Moving expenses should be considered when your loved one relocates to an assisted living complex. Before relocating to a senior community, you must first determine whether you want to sell your home or the home of a loved one. Many individuals prefer to sell their homes before relocating to offset future expenditures. A good choice. Consider the expenses of selling a house, such as agent fees, home reports, and so on. Next, pick which furnishings and things will accompany you or your loved one to the assisted living complex. Every community differs in terms of size and furniture, so inspect the room in person to have a better sense of what you may bring with you and what you may want to leave behind. This takes us to the last expense of moving. Hiring movers or renting a vehicle to relocate yourself, perhaps with assistance from friends or family. These expenses might vary depending on the distance you're relocating, how much you're transporting, and how long the move takes. Compare prices to guarantee you are getting the greatest value. Amenities. When paying for assisted living, it's important to consider the cost or savings of various amenities provided by your community. Most assisted living residents, for example, include exercise lessons. If you are already paying for exercise courses at your local gym or YMCA, programs provided by your community will save you money. Examine in the facilities provided by the senior communities you're considering and include the pricing in your decision-making process. So based on the facilities they're providing, take it all into account. Some communities provide salon services that are equivalent to what you are now paying, as well as frequent entertainment for residents. All of those benefits have an influence on both the cost of living and the quality of life for people, and many of them may offset costs that you were paying previously in your home. Another benefit that is often overlooked is transportation. Many towns provide citizens with transportation services. This implies that you may need a vehicle, saving you money on maintenance and petrol. Furthermore, selling a vehicle may help with the cost of assisted living. The importance of assisted living. Choosing to age in place may at first seem to be the choice that would save you the most money, but have you taken into account the entire cost of living at home? If you want to make a comparison of monthly costs that is accurate and fair, you must go beyond the cost of your mortgage or rent and include the cost of food, utilities, home maintenance, property taxes, insurance, and entertainment, because of all of these things add up and are included in the cost of senior living. When you consider the high expense of in-home care and/or the cost of making changes to your house to make it more accessible, you may discover that assisted living is really the most affordable option. Takeaway. In addition to the financial aspect, you should think about the value of the beneficial influence that senior living may have on your quality of life, thanks to the many chances for socialization and intellectual growth activities. Isolation and sadness are widespread among seniors who live at home, and this is especially true for seniors who live alone. Both of these conditions may have a severe influence on an individual's general health and well-being, not to mention the peace of mind that comes with living a worry-free existence with no unanticipated costs, no chores or upkeep, and an environment that is created exclusively for seniors and comes equipped with safety measures as a matter of course. Now, we at Assisted Living Opening are happy to address any concerns or queries you may have about assisted living, so feel free to contact us for information. Therefore, do not be reluctant to get in contact with us, and we will locate a home in your area that is just right for you or your loved one. Now, if you have any questions regarding the topic, factors affecting assisted living costs, feel free to comment below under the video. And again, be sure and click the subscribe button, and be sure and click the bell icon too, so that you'll be notified every time I come out with a new video. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. We'll be happy to respond to questions that you may have. And finally, underneath the video, be sure and click the See More button so that you can see what additional services are available. You or a friend of yours, a family member of yours, may be interested in joining my Facebook group if you're interested in learning about ways to make money online. And thanks again for watching, and thanks for subscribing, and I look forward to having you watch my next video as soon as it becomes available.